Just to check. It's okay, guys. I'm here with my friend Anna here. This is Yakuma Podcast. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Great. I'm laughing because I want to know how did you find out about this podcast?
Well, I found out about this podcast because I think I was trying to find the Castle Milk Furniture Project contact for a friend of mine that was asking for something.
Yeah.
And then I saw your podcast on the website, so I clicked on that and started listening. And as soon as I started listening, it just felt like the stuff you were talking about was just really different to what I'd heard people talk about before.
Yeah.
And I think because I used to work in the refugee sector, and so I think the way that I was used to talking to people was a very different way. You know, it's not casual. People probably aren't really saying what they think to me.
Yeah.
So it was really different. And then I emailed you, and then we met on Zoom the first time.
Oh yes, I remember. I was like, who's this person? Is he from home office or something? Then I remember.
You were a bit suspicious.
Of course. No, not about, yeah. Then I was like, no, I know her. I'm like, cool. So, but anyway, yes, I like that. Thank you for finding us, because I think that's very important anyway. And build up this, networking now.
Yeah.
And become good friends and stuff. But I still questions for you as well. Like, I know I interview, but my questions are simple. I think the first one is that actually you work with some refugees networks and projects or charities and stuff like that. What was the most challenging thing for you? Never mind hearing their suffering stories, but in general.
I think the most challenging thing for me was the ways in which the sector didn't work well, and that I felt like it could work a lot better than it did. And that I often felt like we weren't really, as a sector as a whole, weren't really, pressing the most important issues, and we weren't really taking a strong enough position against MEAs or the Home Office, Glasgow City Council. And I found although towards the end of me working there, I was working collaboratively with a lot more organisations, I think I did feel like there could be more collaborative working, and that it's a shame that organisations are kind of divided and that it's difficult to work together.
That's a good one, because for me, I think I agree with you, because I used to be a service user, or can say a service user, Asylum Seeker, refugee. Wow, well, we don't have a right to speak. Everyone always speak for ourselves. No one.
Yeah.
You go in the office, they just ask you exactly what they've done, then you're out.
Yeah.
So I think this is the purpose of me at the podcast, talking to you and the people lived experience. So to gather these two sides together.
Yeah.
So the world can understand that where the points are missed. But again, I think you interviewed me. I talk a lot about stuff. I know. So.
Well, I was just gonna say the first time we met on Zoom, and like you were saying, you were maybe a bit suspicious of me, and you had a lot of questions for me the first time we met.
Yeah.
That was like, basically, who are you? Why should I talk to you? Like, what do you want? Like, explain yourself to me. And that was quite uncomfortable for me, but it was good because I suppose I hadn't had to answer those questions in that way before. And then I guess, as we were saying, because I worked for the third sector, you're not meeting with people in that way where they get to ask you a lot of questions. You're just like, what's your issue? Tell me about your issue. I'll tell you how I can help you.
Yeah.
And so you're just meeting in that way.
So now you know how difficult it is. Like,
you get asked a lot of questions.
Yeah, you have no home, you have no money, you have no rights. You have nothing, but you have to deal with 2 hours interview in home office, for example.
Yeah.
Then you come back and you got these people, you think you should trust them, also ask the question. But I think today is about you, actually. It's got nothing to do with me.
I'm not going to get away with it.
No, not at all. Because I think we'll talk about, for me personally, so my question would be I wanted to get to not my own shoes only, but I mean to be in the shoes of all these refugees and asylum seekers. Which is how does it affect you, like at that time when I work in there, and other people as well? Do you think they're really affected about how our stories go around to them, like, or they just go in because they have to go to work and do your work well?
I mean, I think a lot. I think that's